Seneca died in 65 AD. He wrote a short essay called, On the Shortness of Life, that begins with the line, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a great deal of it." He wrote that 2,000 years ago. It describes your week exactly. Here's the framework that's more actionable than any app, planner, or system you've ever tried. The Romans didn't have smartphones. But Seneca's analysis of how humans waste time maps perfectly to the modern attention economy. Because it was never about the devices. It was about the human tendency to treat time as infinitely renewable, until it suddenly isn't. Here are the 5 things Seneca got exactly right. Most of life is not living. Seneca writes, divide your life and consider how little of it actually belongs to you. He breaks time into categories. Time stolen by others, obligations you didn't choose. Time given away, pleasantries, entertainment, distraction. And time wasted in anxiety about the future or regret about the past. What's left? Time spent in deliberate, fully engaged activity aligned with what you actually value, is shockingly small. The exercise Seneca recommends. Account for your time like you account for money. Not obsessively, but honestly. Where did the last month go? The last week? The gap between where your time went and where you intended it to go is the gap between who you are and who you want to be. The busy man is never available to himself. Seneca's most uncomfortable insight. Busyness is often a form of avoidance. The man who is everywhere is nowhere, he writes. The person who fills every hour with activity never has to sit with the question of whether the activity matters. This is a sophisticated form of self-deception. Productivity metrics, emails answered, meetings attended, output produced, can fill a life that's going in the wrong direction. Busyness provides the feeling of progress without requiring the more difficult work of asking, progress toward what? Seneca's recommendation. Build deliberate emptiness into your schedule. Not laziness. Philosophical solitude. Time to examine whether your current trajectory still points where you want to go. The person who never pauses to examine their path is, by definition, walking someone else's. Reclaim your time. Possession versus use. Seneca distinguishes between possessing time and using it. Possessing time means having it available. Using it means extracting full value from it, being fully present, fully engaged, fully aligned with what matters. Most people possess enormous amounts of time. They use very little of it. The mechanism for closing this gap: front-loading your most important work. Not because mornings are magic, but because your highest quality cognitive resources are available at the start of the day before the external world begins making claims on your attention. Seneca called this, securing the day in the morning. Your first hours belong to you. After that, you're often serving everyone else. Design accordingly. Retire into yourself. The withdrawal practice. Seneca practiced a daily withdrawal. Not from society, from noise. He'd spend a portion of each day in philosophical study, reading, writing, and thinking without external input. He called this, retiring into yourself, not isolation. Recentering. A daily practice of making contact with your own thinking, values, and priorities before allowing the day's demands to shape them for you. The modern equivalent isn't meditation, though that works too. It's any practice that involves genuine solitude and reflection. A journal, a long walk with no earbuds, reading that requires thinking rather than consuming. The goal is that your internal compass is calibrated by you, not by whoever got to your attention first today. Live as if this day were enough. Seneca's most difficult instruction: don't defer living until the conditions are right. While we are postponing, life speeds by. Everything, Lucilius, belongs to others. Time alone is ours. The modern version of this error: I'll start when I have more money, more time, more certainty, more permission. Seneca would recognize this immediately. These are the same deferral structures humans have used to avoid committing to a life for 2,000 years. The practical application isn't urgency for urgency's sake. It's a specific question. If your circumstances don't change, can you be satisfied with how you're spending your time right now? If the answer is no, the problem is present tense, not future conditions. Start now. Not in the sprint and crash sense. In the Seneca sense. Decide what the good life looks like for you, and begin constructing it today, with what you have. Seneca wrote about time with more clarity and precision than any modern productivity guru. Because he understood that the problem was never a lack of tools. It was a lack of intention. The shortness of life isn't a tragedy. It's an instruction. Subscribe if this landed for you. Next, Jeff Bezos' thinking frameworks. The specific mental moves that built a $1.7 trillion company from a garage in Seattle.